Alrighty. See what we got here. Thanks for sticking around, anyone who's still here. Switch the category up a little bit. I still got some holdover stuff from yesterday. We actually got to flash this, which is cool. I learned a little bit more about what's going on with these blockers, so I put in some stand-ins for now. Oh, my bro just went live. Alrighty. Let's see here. Close this up. So you get a real typing test in here if anyone was interested. Maybe we'll wait. See if folks come in, because I have a little task here I was gonna do regardless. Jump here. We got a couple of these plates. One of them is a PETG plate. Peel all this shit off. Curious about this. I got this plate cut from Pinocchio. This one looks like it's worked out. The other is not so much. But you know, we could actually probably make some out of tonight's stream. I know that I started a bit late. Thinking about future builds. The hammer one's gonna come up next. I'm thinking like I could get the jump on it. One of the first things I'll have to do is desolder the blue Alps from that tree mount board that I have right now that's already built. Hey, we did it. Got a funky smell. And I could do that. I'm actually super willing to. Super willing to be able to. Couple issues I have. I do have it slated for kind of another time. And secondly, I could go and desolder them, but it's like it's already in an assembled board, and just taking the parts, you know, taking it apart kind of means it's like I need more containers for these switches. I just have way too much shit. This is a pretty crazy plate. It's just like fully clear and floppy. This actually has me crazy curious. Pinocchio offers leather. Thinking of doing a peel on this guy right here. This bottom one, I already peeled off one side. It's the top visible side. There's another side there, unpeeled. But I'm not actually sure I want to peel it off because I think it might be too thin for Alps to properly click in. So I think like this weird backing might be better that I have it than for me to remove it. Let's check this out. So here are the green Alps that I've desoldered from last week. And that's cool, it just clicks right in. This is pretty flimsy palm plate, but I wonder. It's cool. Meanwhile, one of my favorite colors of all time, clear. Oh, these cutouts, they might be too small. Huh. There we go. That's cool. I'm a fan. But a couple more. Where'd I put them? Let's go and grab them. Have no clue where I put them. Oh, jeez. Found them. Yo, thank you. What's going on, man? Lala, glad to have you here. We're just getting around to testing these plates from Pinocchio, some of which are good, others of which, you know, 3 out of 4 look good. Some of these just have me concerned because does this really not fit, or am I just doing something funky? I may have set the curve too small or too large. Three out of 4 is a passing grade. It's true, but it might have been, it might be dropping down to, be dropping down to 2. Am I crazy? Well, I definitely did this backwards. These are like the same size. I'm having trouble getting these guys into the alu plate. I thought the alu would be the easiest. Just the switch. I can't get it through. Time to find a local place. It might be time. My goodness. That's weird. This palm looks really ugly. I mean, I typically don't care about aesthetics, but it's objectively very ugly. But it works. Like, is a reason why it just feels like the cutout's too small on the alu, even though like it looks pretty identical. And I'm wondering if that's just a factor of material. I don't know. Or the alu is smaller. I don't know. Definitely material and size. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's like, it does look a little bit off. So for all 3 of these materials, they labeled the kerf exactly the same. Palm gives leniency. I'm guessing PETG2. Just for the fact that they're a little floppier, probably just allows the stuff to pass through. Alright. Pinocchio, man. Like, I'm willing to try again with Pinocchio, but I think there's adjustments here to be made. So, We might go and do that, and I'll give him another shot here. This right here is the disappointing one because I went to Pinocchio to avoid this problem, and it came back with this problem. And I don't quite get it. In fact, let's. Hey, there it is. Wow, I feel like you're like one of the very first keyboard folks who's actually used this command. Typically, that command has gone to everyone who's ever watched me play Splatoon. What's the story behind it? My boy Andy, one of my co-hosts who pops in and out of the voice chat. When I started streaming on Twitch, you know, it's like, you know, when we first all started like learning about Twitch, like, you know, the whole idea of having a bot and having bot commands, you know, made sense. But then he would come in and just constantly like, he'd pop in while I'd be playing Splatoon just to tell me I suck and then leave. And then he started doing it in the form of a command. So I actually built something around it. By the way, I don't know if you were here yesterday, but we kind of, well, I don't know if you were here, but we finished the KMAC Happy build, and then I failed to do a type test, a proper one, because the keyboard was flashed with a Dvorak layout. And so I gave myself about 40 minutes to be able to try to figure out how to how to reflash this, given that it's not VIA compatible. I was not able to do it in time. So a bunch of doubters got their points. I ended up figuring out how to do it like a little bit after I ended stream. And it actually wasn't that bad, but we can now do a type test. I also spent some time earlier this morning figuring out more about, thank God it didn't go. I also spent time earlier this morning figuring out like what was going on and why the board just seemed so weird. So it turns out, and this, here's my situation. If you're curious and knowing, I reached out back to the seller who sold it to me a month ago and just like sort of raised, I think there's an issue here. I think you didn't sell me something, or I think I was led to believe something different than what I sold. But then like I didn't really fault him because he seemed pretty honest and transparent about like, oh shit, I just didn't know. Apparently the detached blockers he included, like there were some square ones for 1x1 units. And then there were these longer ones, which I thought were the 1.5 unit HHKB blockers, but they weren't. KMAC as well as Duck later on down the line shipped 3 variants of blockers, which included 2 1Us, 2 1.5Us, and 2 1.25U blockers. So I was using these 1.25U blockers, just not realizing, I was just like, that seems really short, but all right. But I just looked at it for longer. I was like, no, this is too short. Apparently just somewhere down the line, and I'm hoping this guy is being honest, someone must have just kept the 1.5 unit blockers, and when I received it I thought they were 1.5 unit, but they just look kind of funny. I realized it's not it. So it sucks. I just told him, hey, like, look, at the end of the day I want it. So if there's any possible chance this guy ever comes across original KMAC Happy blockers, 1.5 unit, or the silver duck blockers, or any other KMAC colored blockers, it's just like, just let me know. I'd love to just have it, you know. I'm not really looking for any compensation. I just want it. That's all. That's how we landed there. But in the meantime, I just, funnily enough, I I've ended up buying these KBD fans blockers for pretty much no reason, like last summer, and they've just been sitting there. Like, I'm just like, I don't know why I bought this, but it actually finally came in handy. It's like, I have it there now, but it's like, it's not the same color, nor is it the same shape or style. So it just like kind of looks funky. So there it is. Your taste will always bewilder me. Yeah, I know. I know that. I mean, it's just like, what's the reality? It's like, I bought something, I want it. Like, the thing is, I don't really want to return this to the guy because I still want the board, and these are like not easy to come by. So, when is the next time a KMAC Happy is going to be up for sale and not immediately gotten? It'll be a while. I'm trying to do some shit right now, but I'm just going in super slow motion. So give me a quick second. I want to be able to show what my issue is. With how I feel Pinocchio handled this plate, because there's a reality, a universe here where I finally get the fucking correct plate, and that reality is it hasn't happened yet. For some reason my Windows button isn't working on this PC, which is a little bizarre. Do you know any low-key sources I can get brown Alps? That experience in front of the donut shop was tantalizing. I don't know, like, just where you go and find brown Alps, but so here's the situation. Whenever I'm looking for like Switch stuff, I mean, I only know the stuff that I know because I'm just old as fuck, right? So typically for like old stuff / Alp stuff, I look at Desk Authority to find out what boards you can actually source anything from. So here is this guy, which I think I sent to you already. And so they kind of say a bunch of things about what keyboards have brown Alps. I think Spelunkpunk actually came in and then mentioned that he himself got, I think, some kind of Magnavox video writer or something after seeing and hearing the brown Alps that I showed off on stream for the first time way back when I was doing the Alps party build, I think like this time last month. So I mean, that's some place you can look at. The IBM PC convertible is where I got mine, the 5140. If you click on that link, it mentions that it's the model number 5140. I think I was able to source my brown Alps from one of those boards, and I think I had a really good deal on it way back when. Probably much harder to find now and more expensive, but like, if that's where you want to go. Meanwhile, what I do want to mention too is I was watching Yura. I was watching Yura's stream and how she's been building these KeyMax keyboards. And what's really crazy is that these keyboards are as expensive as shit. But with that said, I think among one of the many reasons they're expensive as shit is because they actually, I guess they're supposed to make available like old rare switches. The problem is that if you actually go to getting a version of this keyboard with brown Alps, it's mad expensive and also sold out. So Sorry. My apologies for that. Alright. I cannot... Oh. Oh my gosh. I feel like my machine is just kind of misbehaving like crazy. I can't open Illustrator. Can't really do anything here. Alright, I think we're good. Alrighty. So we're back to it. We were doodling a little bit earlier with my other buddy, Andrew. Then kind of switched over to just doing some basic keyboard stuff. But while we're here, what is this? Shit, I don't want this open. This was the Sirius Alps plate that I was working on, which, you know, I would have wanted to do something with, but all right. CA7UMS fixed, I think. No, that wasn't it. Good lord. I don't know what I named anything. AKHHKB? I think it was this. Yes. Yes, it is. Okay. So here's my issue. When the very first time, don't be sorry. Okay, anyways, the very first time I had this plate cut was through Swill's keyboard builder and the API integration service that he has for Laserdisc. The problem was that this guy right here, and I think you actually can kind of see it. There's a little funniness there. But this guy right here ended a little too short. So when you, like the actual place that it came through here, it would just cut off because, I mean, there's nothing like so laser accurate that would be able to do this in the way that I want it to be done. So what I did was I just extended this guy out for Pinocchio, and I think they still blew it. But I'm just trying to be sure. Man. I don't know where the fuck my file is. Apologies for all this. Because I'm trying to do a little discovery right now. And none of this is it. I guess I could just go to Pinocchio. I'm going to sign in. Just make sure I don't have anything crazy up. I swear I have a bunch of shit off the screen that I can't figure out how to do, and I feel like nothing about Windows right now is behaving properly. And I just booted up, or I rebooted. Like, I can't resize any windows. I just try to boot up Chrome and it's nowhere to be found. My goodness. I can't even load up Pinocchio right now for that reason. This is the bad guy, and I'm just trying to look over my files to be certain that I'm accessing the right thing. Okay, it's gonna be a little while, but I'll point out I cut a plate that was loosely based around this design, and there's very clearly just not enough space here. So this point right here is at the Y position 282, 632, oops, 6312. This guy right here is 284, so that's less than 1 point. Is that right? 284. Now, a single point is supposed to be 2.8, or a single millimeter is supposed to be 2.83, which is the size that I guess they require. So this whole thing, I think, like, needs to just like be further down from this by 2.83465 points. And that's kind of my downfall here. Now, I already had the correct plate design because I had some more other adjustments that are supposed to be here. But again, didn't translate well when they were cutting this. There's just like so much off with this. It's like, yeah, man, I don't know what they've done. Yeah, they totally blew it. I think like, oh, it's really bad. Holy smokes. Wow, yeah, no. Lala, I think yesterday you were pointing out the alignment was bad. Holy shit, I didn't realize just how bad it was. What the fuck? It's like, did I do this? Oh shit. It's like, see, this is my problem. I need to go and... Yeah, wait, I didn't even notice this yesterday. What the fuck is this? It's like, wait a second. Did I do this? Like, I gotta find the design file, but I just like, I can't find it on my machine right now. My machine's all acting up like crazy right now. Fuck, maybe it was me. Did I do this? I did not do this. Hold up. I swear. Hold up. Okay, I'm gonna log on Pinocchio for my other machine right here and then just like see if I can send it over to myself. Oops. Give me 1 second. I'm also not sure if you were here for the okay, actually I named it some real crazy and long. 21. Okay, it's this one. This is what I sent over to them. Look at this. Okay. So here's admittedly one of my issues. One of my issues is that this guy starts at 282.6 and this one's at 286. So this actually, we should still be in the clear. Oh, you can't see anything. This guy right here. So let me repeat that. This guy's at 282.6 right here. And this guy right here, 286. So that's about 3.4 points, which is definitely greater than 1 millimeter. There is more than 1 millimeter here, which is their, you know, their, I guess, like, plus minus here that they need to make sure that cuts are proper. They did not get that right by any stretch. And so like, look at this crazy shit. They misaligned this thing. This thing is too tall. Yeah, I'm sending over pictures tomorrow. This top is too tall. So it's like, I feel like what happened, something must happen where like someone moved the the sheet of aluminum or something. Because this is just like, I mean, someone like, it's like, it was like this, and then they started cutting it and someone did this. So like this and did this. It's kind of like when you're trying to hold something real tight to keep it in place, and then like you're putting so much pressure and then you slide. Meanwhile, I also spent a gang of time working on, I spent a gang of time working on this guy right here so that like you could keep the Alps plate clip, but then like curve the screw hole for the tray mount just around it. They were able to do that on all 3 of my other plates, pretty properly. Here's the PETG. Trying to see if that captures super well. They did that for this one, which is good. They did that for my palm. Also good. They did that for my other aluminum plate. Also good. But they blew it on this one. It's just like, you see my finger through it. So yeah, this I'm gonna try to ask for like, hey, cut this again or give me a refund. Yeah. Would you recommend send cut send? I think send cut send is less prone to fucking up. I mean, I felt like I always heard, I don't know if I'd say I'd heard good things about Pinocchio, but I've heard it as like the place people use. So I was just like, this seems more reliable than the first place I went to, Laserdisc. But I don't know. Whoa, these things finally opened. My browser's still broken though. All right. So the ones I ended up using are the ones that I think are dated. Ones that have dates right here. Right here. Right here. So this one has mixed Alps clips with a cherry stabilizer. This is the one that I believe I had a bunch cut from. But I think like in any case, I'll still have to make adjustments because I think that the kerf is just off still. Like I think it needs to be 0.15 for alu. Ligma. Hey, you caught it. Let's see. I closed it. Well, it'll be a while before that opens. Something's going on with my machine. My machine should not be doing this. My machine is having a huge hiccup right now. Some indigestion or something. Alright. Well, I feel like I could wrap it up, but I also feel like I do owe it to actually performing some kind of legitimate type test. Again, Lala, I don't know if you were here for that, but I failed to flash the firmware yesterday in time. my god, can I even shut off right now? Alright. It's powering off. I failed to flash it in time, but I was able to after a little while. So I can get in a nice, more legitimate type test, which I realize is funny because everyone who might have been watching me build yesterday could have been waiting for a type test, and now none of them are here. But Lala, you're here. So if you want to see the, if you want to see and hear the KMAC Happy, this crazy KMAC Happy, well, glad you could make it. Gimme, gimme. Are the Hiroses stock? Like they're not. So how do I put this? They are lubed and filmed. Am I doing okay? I think I'm doing okay. They are lubed and filmed. Ada helped out with a lot of them. The problem is what I learned, which I think Lightning was in here, and I think you might have been here at the same time. The actual cross stems themselves, they're non-standard. They're essentially like bigger and damaging to, you know, newer modern tight keycaps like GMK. So I ended up having it, like I ended up not having to, but I did this funky thing where I just ended up using like the stock caps on top of them, and then just filling the rest in with EPBT, and then this one Keyreative blank enter. The whole thing is in R3 profile, except for the spacebar, which is R4. That's just a factor of the this the keycaps that came with it, all being R3. So, in case you wanted to see, and here. Uniform profile, yep. So you get the nice little personalized type test for all the folks who you get to hear what all the folks yesterday couldn't. Alrighty, let's do this. Okay, let's do it. I just realized that was a 30-second test. And also another thing is that for the purposes of just like wanting to look at it and appreciate it today, I use the F&J sub-legend keycaps as they are, but they don't have any homing bars or dots, nipples, scoops, nothing. So I have like no way to actually feel for it. Soft, scratchy sound with the metallic sound, crisp. Yeah, that's the funny thing about like Hirose and Nixies is that like they're not inherently smooth or anything. I think it just comes down to usage, and I don't think that these Hiroses nor the Nixies I have for that matter, the one that I gave you, I don't think they're that smooth. Because I think whoever I got it from, whoever it was harvested, like whatever board it was harvested from, it just didn't have use. So. Okay, let's try to get another test here. Were the Nixies you gave stock? Yes. Look, the Nixies I gave were stock to my knowledge. I got them from somebody and not from an original board. The Nixies were soldered into another board. So what I will say is that like I like to imagine that they're Nixies. They are legitimate Nixie tops as they are translucent with the cherry logo. But there is no. I have never, and I think it's important that I mention this. That top is real. There is no guarantee that the person who I got it from in like 2014 didn't swap out the stem or the spring or the bottom. I like to think that they were stock or like they were legitimate, but I don't know. You never know, especially if you're getting anything aftermarket. So I think there's also even that possibility that like if you go and buy like an actual donor board from where Nixies or Hiroses come from, who knows? What if the person you bought it from, knowing it has to be an aftermarket item from being so old, how do you know that this person that you're buying this stock donor board from, they didn't do the same thing and soldered and like desoldered and resoldered them back on? It's like, who knows? All you can really go off of is just how it feels. And so if it feels good, it feels good. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But these guys, I gotta say, like Ada and I were lubing all of these Hiroses, and we were noticing like, holy shit, some of these are very, very, very smooth, and others are mediocre. I can definitely tell if it's not factory soldered. That's fair. That's fair. All right. Anyways, let's try to get one more test in, and now I actually have some homing bars, so we'll see if there's any difference. So let's try to do one more test here. Spacebar is so soothing here. Oh, nice. I didn't blow the spacebar stabilizer this time around. All right. So that just about does it, I think, for me here. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. Alrighty. So here's my situation. I think, there's some folks we could be looking at tonight, but also it just happens my brother is streaming right now. So if you are interested in sticking along for the raid to see my brother, or if you have anyone else you would rather suggest, I feel like I don't have too many opportunities to raid my brother. Might want to do that. My brother's down in Los Angeles, California. So, yeah. All right, let's do it. Let's pull up my brother's stream right now. Okay. I'll punch these commands that I'm sure everyone who might be here watching has heard before, but if anyone wants to join Discord, there it is. If anyone's interested in my film photography development and scanning services, there it is. And finally, donations, they all go to San Francisco Marin Food Bank, but if you want to go to it directly yourself, there's another link there. All right, cool. Short little stream tonight, so everybody, thank you. Lala, especially you, thanks for being here, listening to this funny little typing test after all the funny business. So
Until next time, probably gonna be streaming Monday for some Splatoon. I might do another drawing stream next Thursday as well, but we'll see. So, till then, good night from San Francisco. We're gonna be rating my brother DJ Jimbo Jenkins. Peace, guys.